is Danique Cowan, and for my new experience project, I decided to go to my first Pilates class solo. And I chose to do this project because even though I'm comfortable doing Pilates at home, this might sound silly to some people, but going to the gym is like a very different environment, and going alone has always made me feel a bit nervous. So I wanted to challenge myself and become more comfortable in unfamiliar social settings. So, moving on to why I chose this experience. Normally, I prefer doing Pilates at home, but because it feels comfortable and I'm not having to worry about what other people are thinking about me. However, I realized that always choosing what feels comfortable would not help me grow. So I just wanted to push myself with this experience. It's something very different, and it made me just a bit uncomfortable. And before going to the class, I felt a little bit nervous and excited. The nervousness mainly came from worrying about how others would perceive me and whether I'd feel out of place. Even though these thoughts made me anxious, I knew that this was an opportunity to prove myself and that I could handle new situations. My experience during the Pilates class. So this all started from when I walked into the gym. I started to feel, emotions of anxiousness. I became very self-aware of what I was doing. Felt like people were noticing everything I did, which might be silly, but that's just how it is. But once I entered the Pilates room and saw everybody else focusing on their own movements, I felt more comfortable. The environment became less intimidating, and I realized that everybody's just there for the same reason, to improve themselves. So what started as something slightly stressful became peaceful and enjoyable. And by the end of the class, I felt proud that I was able to step outside of my comfort zone. And this led me to be feeling accomplished. So how psychology applied to my experience? I would say that when it comes to motivation, this really helped me to step out of the house in the first place and get to the gym. So even though staying at home would have been easier, my motivation pushed me to go to the gym. My emotions also changed throughout the experience. At first, I felt anxious because I was in a new environment, but as I continued participating, those feelings decreased. And another psychological concept that applied during this learning process was the learning. During the class, I learned new Pilates movements by watching the instructor and other people around me. Observational learning was a big part of this process, and that allowed me to participate successfully. And in conclusion, I would say that overall, I overcame a very intimidating challenge. By doing that, I gained a lot of confidence, and that nervousness slowly went away. After reflecting, I would say that this is something I would definitely do again. It showed me that I was able to overcome my fears, and that my fears were just based on assumptions rather than reality. This experience also reminded me that taking the first step is usually the hardest part, but once you do, the situation becomes much more easier and enjoyable. And that is all for my new experience project. Thank you so much for watching and listening.